Hello everyone. So in today's video we want to talk about why traders stop loss gets hit, and mostly talking about it on the London/NY section. So in this video, before I dive into the chart, I would like to list some key points so we can understand some facts, so we don't just get all on the market hits me or my broker know where I kept my SL and it got triggered. So I want us to look at the market from another direction, another perspective, which we should know that the Asian section is where manipulation happens. The London section is where we have accumulation, and we have distribution in the New York section. So why do we talk about distribution in the New York section? This is where I want to focus my lights in. So in the New York section, it deals with more volume, where we know that people are trading over 3 trillion in the market, and this is the most volatile section in trading, especially in the forex market. So in this section, you might have been on a trade from the London section whereby orders have been accumulated, especially when you have a very tight stop loss. You will see that the stop losses are very obvious. That's what I'll first say, because on a normal term, when you see any trader that is trading, some people be saying when you are trading you don't have to put stop loss, because if you put stop loss you will get swept out. Better should just trade without stop loss. Those are not advisable terms. I'll be honest with you. You have to do that. Okay, this is what I want to risk and this is what I can afford to risk in the market. You don't just trade blindly. You trade with accountability. So whenever you lose, you hold yourself accountable for whatever happened to your money, not blaming it on someone else or blaming it just on the same time. So this big trader, these big players, when they come into the market and they see there are obvious spots where liquidity can be swept, there are obvious spots where stop losses can be hit. And what fuels the market? Liquidity. Money fuels the market, and your money is the liquidity. So these big players, because they have large volume and they know that once they push the market downwards to hit either your buy stop or your sell stop and trigger it before they can move to maybe the opposite direction or continue the trend of the London section. In such term, you feel confused when your stop losses get hit. But what comes in at this point? Patience comes in. When you are patient about your trade, more light, you get more money than you expect. You cannot be patient on 5 trade and lose the 5. You might lose some setup, which is obvious, because some people just be like, when markets just come to my point of entry, boom, it skyrockets. It cannot happen all the time. Most times it sits in your entry before it skyrockets. Most times. I'm not talking based on anybody experience, I'm talking based on my own experiences. So it's better for you to be patient and observe what is happening in the market. That's why you see some people scaling down from higher time frame to lower time frame to look for sniper entry. You know that you go on the 1 hour time frame and want to look for a sniper entry. It's possible. I'm not saying it's not possible, but it is more advisable to refine your entry so you don't just get stopped out and lose a lot of money, because of on higher time frames your stop losses are bigger than when you jump to a lower time frame. So let's go into the chart and I'll show you obvious places where stop losses are being kept. And when you see what I'm showing you, you know that to your own face and to your own psychology, you know that these points are obvious to anyone that stop losses are kept there. So we are on the chart now, and we can see just, I don't want us to waste much time on this, and we can see what's happening on the chart. I drew a break of structure, and when it got into the night time, I don't know which time zone you are watching from, but you can just correlate it. This is the Nigerian time I'm using here. But when we are going to the night time, we saw a series of reversals. It's meant to reverse to this point to continue on a downtrend, just like how you can see the trend line that we do. So, but on seeing this, you see that the volume reduced. The volume at which the price is moving reduced because of it's already night. So the people, the hedge funds, the big players aren't present in the market as at this time. So you see, and this is what causes manipulations most times in the market. It causes manipulations, and we see around 7:30 we saw a bit of accumulation and maybe let me just say distribution before the London section. Let me just say a bit of distribution, and you can see it. This is where a big red candle came to come down to this part, and you can see accumulation here around 10 o'clock. The market is accumulating orders before it push up, and at this point it broke out. If I mark this place, you see there is a break of structure. Let me mark this point. This point is a break of structure. So after the break of structure, what can you see? Around, this is 12 o'clock, that's around noon, before the New York section, which is by 1:30. So after its accumulation here since 10 o'clock, which I said about the London section, we saw a distribution here. You see that this trend line broke around the London section / New York section, showing that the big players are there. So what can you do to avoid getting stopped out most times? To avoid these things, especially when you see news coming up around 1:30, it's best you just exit your trade. I'll say for my own self, because some people might just feel like, I want to wait till that 1:30, that's when I will make my money. It's best to exit the trade if you are not comfortable with the loss that is below. The loss that you place, if you're not comfortable with that loss, it's best you exit the trade. The market might still give you another entry to continue. So what happened? 1:30, you can see market pumping with big candle volumes around this point. And when it came to midnight again, the market started reversing back and causing sort of manipulations. As you can see, market was ranging at this point. It was ranging, and it was in the morning time, around early morning, it touched this zone again, the zone that it broke out from. It touched it again and began to accumulate towards 8, 9, 10. Now you see that these accumulations are small candles. They are small candles. That's why you have to set. Most times I believe that setting or trying to scout for a trade around the morning time, maybe around from 6, 7, 8, is the best time to scout for your trade. You don't have, as a retail trader, I don't feel like you have so much for trade around midnight. You want to buy in the midnight when you know that, okay, at this time big traders aren't much in the market, or maybe few times they might be in the market. So what do we see here after that reversal? Around 6, 7, 8:30, we can see a reversal here to this point. And what happened? We can see a pump. From 1:30 there was a pump, and it did same thing in the night again. So this is a pattern that repeats itself. I'm not saying it repeats itself all the time, but I'm saying it repeats itself most times. It repeats itself over and over again. So to avoid being stopped out on trades, my fellow traders, I will just say, from my own point of view, it's best we just stick to trading from, if you're in Nigeria, based on your time, just try to adjust your time zone and understand what I'm trying to say. It's best to just, like, from that 7, 8 you scout for your trade, or 6:30 you scout for your trade. You can see more traders posting their setups around 6. Big traders, big retail traders are posting their setups around 6:30, 7. So doesn't that hit your mind that why do they post setup around this time? That's the question you should ask yourself. So I'm convinced that this video was able to reach out to you guys and create more understanding on why stop losses get hit around 1:30. And one of the most reasons I mentioned was due to large volume. That's where money is being pumped into the market. So I hope to get positive comments or questions for me to throw more light on, so we can understand what I'm trying to say and learn from each other. Thank you very much.